rifles around, but what good are they? So that possibility existed, and nobody knew one way or the other whether the Japanese were prepared to make a landing, whether they had troops out offshore. So anyway, we would do what we could. We took the machine gun out across the runway and set it up in a revetment. And we sat there till dark, loading boxes of ammunition and web belts. So that's about all we could do.
Who was in charge? Who was the ranking person in your unit or something? Who was in charge?
Yeah.
How did you know you were in charge?
Oh yes. I had some experience with them. I was.
At that point, what was your rank?
At that time, I was staff sergeant.
Mm-hmm. So, were any of your men wounded or killed so far?
What?
Were any of your men wounded or killed at that point?
Well, there was a couple of boys who were wounded, but we had no loss of life because nobody was out there near the planes, and that's all that they were after, was to knock our planes out. So we were lucky there as far as personnel is concerned. But there was a lot of casualties, off the ships that came by. All the guys off the California came out to our base, and to those that could get around. So,
how'd you care for them?
Yeah.
How did you care for them? Did you have a doc or a medic?
Oh yes.
And so
we had a full.
Was the hospital
there,
full and overflowing then?
We had a full dispensary, a couple of doctors there. But there wasn't the serious ones weren't coming to our base. These were the guys that just wounded or something.
Okay.
The real serious ones went to the AIA hospital, the naval hospital, which was up in the hills not far from us. And
So how many separate bases or satellite bases were there on Pearl Harbor? Like lots and lots, many.
Quite a few, yeah.
And yours was called FB. Yours was, which base was yours?
Eva.
EVA.
Eva, EWA.
EWA. Oh, Eva.
Yeah. It had been a light of the Air Base for the Navy, in which they abandoned, and we went out there and set it up when I first went out there. Set up tents and everything. We lived in tents. I was in charge of the machine and metal shops at the time, and set up shops, as a service squadron.
To service the planes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I see. When you go back, is your home still there? Your little home? It is?
The base?
Your home, your little home is still there?
No.
Yes.
It's all wiped out.
No, the base. You're talking the base is wiped out.
Hmm?
The base is wiped out.
Yeah. Well, they closed it down.
But your little home is
Yeah.
still there? Your
yeah.
house? Okay. Well, did you
Yeah.
lose any good friends?
No, I didn't lose anybody. The only thing I lost is a beautiful little Buick Sport convertible I had bought in Honolulu.
They shot it up.
But
huh?
I had to just abandon that thing. It was a little
No.
1927 Buick Roadster.
And it was
In
shot up or
beautiful
set on
condition.
fire or what?
No.
Yeah.
No, just that he had to leave it there.
And,
He just had
Why?
to leave it at the base.
He was sent out to the Pacific War to the islands, I
Oh.
guess. And you went home, right? You went to San
Well,
Diego?
can I tell you where I went after this?
Okay.
Yes.
Reuben told me, "You'll be all right. The Army will come and take care of you. They'll tell you what to do." And there was a little Army post just down the street from us in a little gully-like. And they were camped down there. And sure enough, they came through and they said how they did these things. How they planned these things so quickly. They said, everybody get out of this area, because of course we were so close to the water there, to the harbor, as to get out of here. And so get out on the main road and someone will pick you up and take you where you have to
No
go.
suitcase, no personal items?
No, they told us just take the food with you. What did I have? I only had one small can of corn. Canned corn. You know, the small cans. So away I went, my little pink suit.
In your Sunday clothes?
Up to the street, and sure enough, along came a car, and they were picking up the women and children.
You didn't take pictures or anything? You
No,
just wanted to
no.
run for your lives?
No, I wasn't afraid, really. I wasn't afraid at all. I
Where
was
did
just
you
gonna
think you
do
were
what-
going?
I was just going to do what they told me to do. The Army was in charge. Reuben told me the Army would be in charge.
Do what they say.
So they do what they say. So they got us up into another gully, we went up the hill on the opposite side of Pearl City, which is now, of course, all built up. But anyway, we went up there through these cane fields, and the road just kept going, and we seemed to get higher and higher. And then there was a gully, and they told us to get down into the gully. They were going to bring in a tent to cover us. Now remember why they have rain all the time. And so I was one of the first ones down there, so I helped to set up the tent, helped the boys pull on the tent this way and that way. But it didn't take long when they just took over and took care of it. More people came, more people came, more people came.
Mostly women and children?
Women and children. And they said, just lay down and go to sleep. And so I found a spot to sleep on. But I was right on the edge of one of the, you know how a tent is built this way. Well, there were so many people coming in that they kept pulling out the flaps. And I kept moving over and over. I ended up
There's a big pyramidal tent, they put the flies up in.
Right.
Make
So at least
little-
there's shelter, but not sides now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was right on the edge, and there was a little 8-year-old girl next to me, and she was so moving all the time and was crying, and her mother was trying to settle her down. And so I looked out with just enough moonlight or whatever it was. I could see there was a stump right ahead. So I said, oh, well, I'll just go sit on that stump. And I sat on the stump, and when I was there, I could see down to Pearl Harbor.